author and writing about his story and things like that. Give it up for my man. I know him as 8, but I'm gonna tell you right now.
Right.
He is author. Jay Williams was in the building.
All right now. I appreciate it. All right.
It's not on. You on?
All right.
There he is. What up?
All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate everything. Everybody knows, man. I'm author Jay Williams, man. CEO of Casual Business Moves Publishing Company. I'm also wrote 4 books. I'm in the, currently writing my 5th book. But yeah, I lived the life, man, and this guy right here, we lived it together, man. We was in the jungle, places that you wouldn't want to do, man, but we built a bond and a relationship, man, and I'm happy we did it.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. Blessing to have you here with me today, man. Shut up.
Yes, sir.
The room we used to be in. So we started as cellmates,
right.
To be honest. You know what I mean? To tell you the truth. And you know what I mean? So we was really like getting to know each other, chilling, man, and just like, and it was at a rough time, because he was trying to get home. His main focus was on that time. I still remember how you used to be in the library all the time.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And most people would be on the basketball court, like me, you know what I mean? Or playing cards, and you were always in the library.
People don't understand, man. I was serving life without parole, man. That means, like, basically you're going to die in jail, and that's the end of your story. So I didn't want that to be the end of mine, so me and my co-defendant and a lot of other guys that was, that wanted to come home. Listen, man, we was in the law library. If you wanted to fight for yourself, man, you better start, man, with yourself. You know what I mean? So,
right, absolutely.
Wow, that's a test to be.
Right. When did you decide I'm going to write me a book? How did that come about?
Well, I always felt like, we was living a story, man, while we was living it, you know what I mean? And a lot of people just reading my transcripts was like, man, listen, hey, you got a story, man, you should tell it. Unfortunately, I was locked up, so I was not in a position where I could write down anything, man, that might be used incriminating me, because for those that don't know, I overturned my case after 5 years. So then I waited trial another 7 years.
Yeah.
So, I probably was the longest in Boston history of just going back and forth to court, man, just fighting your case.
So Jay, can I ask, were you kind of like in limbo for like 12 years, so to speak?
So I was in limbo for 7 years. So 7 years I wasn't convicted of anything. I was just, going back and forth, just being arraigned, for murder.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Absolutely.
Did you start writing? So you were studying laws and so forth to get yourself, to get your freedom back while in jail. But did you start your writing journey as well while you were in jail also?
Well, being locked up for that long, man, your only source of resource to the outside world is a lot of times is through the phone or through letters. I was the guy that had a lot of people that reached out to me, so I wrote a lot of letters. So I used to write 3-page letters, and I probably write 4 or 5 people, and that'd be my day. But I used to write it real quick, so it was nothing to me. I just got used to writing. So that's kind of how I came about of writing erotic short stories, is because I used to try to be a little freakish with the ladies, man, you know what I mean? That was my way of connecting with them.
Erotic.
When I was in jail, there were a lot of hood books in jail that people like Donald Goines is a legend behind the joint and things like that. No, I wasn't writing. I was reading. I'm a reader. I mean, I'm a reader, not a fighter. You know what I mean? Do you want that for your books? Do you want that to be like circulating throughout the whole system so people can know, like, because a lot of those books we used to read was like stories of like hood stories.
And that was another thing, is that I was the person that had an extensive collection of books, man. I used to have probably like 20, 30 books in the cell, just hood books and all the magazines. Like I was the fortunate person in the prison, man. You know, so
you better bring it back too.
You know
better bring that book back,
right? So you know what I mean.
You know
So
who got the book.
It's like a lot of times, man, I was reading stories and I know they was made up, and I'm like, you know, we lived some of these things, man.
Yeah.
We was doing these things, and I was like, I would love to tell my story, you know what I mean? But you know, of course, I wasn't in a situation to do it.
Right.
So
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Oh, okay, so the first book.
Right.
What's the name of the first book?
So the first book is Wrong Turn Right, man. It basically tells how I grew up. It tells to age 18.
You see it?
It details. I don't.
Oh, you didn't bring it? Okay.
Yeah. So it details basically, you know, how I joined the gang, even, you know, up to how I caught my murder case. You know what I mean? I pleaded guilty to it, so I'm able to talk about it. So
right.
Yeah, man, I basically outline everything. If I spit on this pavement, basically it's in the book.
Okay.
Mean.
What I admire, when I first was introduced to you and your books was during the pandemic.
Right.
I remember you were always pushing your work, which is something that I admire. Right. And I remember that's when I got Wrong Turn Right, because if you need a book, if you want a book, he will come to you. He will bring them to you.
Yes.
He is definitely about getting his work out there, and that's something I wanted to tell you that I admire. I admire your ethic in terms of trying to get your work out there, because you do a very good job at it.
Well, thank you. I mean, I feel like if you're gonna hustle, man, you're gonna promote your brand, and I feel like I'm the brand. So you know, I'm always gonna push myself. I believe in myself. I always knew I was gonna go home. That's one of the things I never just felt down about having life, because I always knew I was gonna come home. The judge told me I was going to do life, man, and I cussed him out and told him I'd be back in 5 years. 5 years to that day that I was in the court, man. You know what I mean? I thought I was going to get a bail. Unfortunately, he gave me no bail. That's why I sat for another 7. Yeah. But you know, you go through things, you learn, and you know, I'm just trying to give back now.
That's great, man. And I know that, you know, the crew that you grew up with and things like that, a lot of those guys are doing very positive things now. Right. You hang your other friends, he's an author too, right. You know what I mean? My man Mike Belnell got the clothing line, right, and things like that. Do you think you have to go through tragedy and like hard times in order to, like, from where we're from, do you think that you have to go to the bottom to the top, as they say? Like you have to start from the bottom? Or
absolutely not, man. I actually, man, preach against it now, man. You know, I feel like we was fooled, man. You know, we was playing a game that we didn't know the consequences of, man. We lost a lot of good brothers that we'll never get back, man. And I'm not just talking about to death, man. I'm talking about in prison too, man. I know I had probably like hundreds of dudes, man, that come on, man, you know, man, you know what I mean? I know dudes, man, and it's fortunate now because, you know, the laws changed, and I probably seen about 20 lifers come home.
Me too.
But, you know, how many lifers that that never come home? My cellie, I was in a lifers block, so my cellmate had more time than me on this earth. So right now he probably has over 50 years in the system, you know, and I know so many people that's like that. That was in my block, man, just alone, never mind on the camp and the other camps. You know what I mean?
Whew. What's the book you writing now?
So I'm feeling part three to my life story. It's actually a trilogy. So source of information is part 2. Like I said, Wrong Turn Right goes to age 18. Source of information goes to age 25, 18 to 25. It basically covers when I just get out of, I think, South Bay. And, you know, I'm starting my transition as a man. I come home to basically a multi-million-dollar hustle. We basically start employing half of the town. We're making money. We link up with Benzino. We start traveling with the Source magazine. So, you know, it tells about, you know, my stories with the Source. It tells about the stories that was happening in Boston. And it tells how I had the downfall getting locked up at the end for the murder case when I was a kid 8 years later.
Wow.
So, positive things. So, giving back, because I also see you doing a lot of positive give backs with the community. So, talk about some of those things that you do as well.
So, you know, I'm going on my third annual turkey drive.
Mean.
Going on my third annual toy drive. I'm always doing community events. I'm basically at every event. If you're throwing something, I'm there. I work with the youth. I talk to high school students, DYS students. You know, I'm just about, you know, being where the community needs me, man. And that's basically here in the hood, you know. So I try to be here with the peoples.
Mm-hmm. One of our listeners on the live wants to know, Miss Lisa Renee, she says, she asked, how old were you when you got out of prison, if you don't mind?
Wow, we getting personal, right? She
gonna do the math too. Like, wait a minute. So I
thought I was like 25 or something, 36, man. I don't know. So yeah, I was grown, man. You know, I was put it like this, man. Over my lifespan, I did 15 years.
Wow.
So the life sentence was actually my third incarceration, man. My first one started when I turned 18, so just turned 18. And I went up to Big Boy Camp, man, went up to upstate. And that was when I was wild, you know, that's when I was crazy. And I was, you know, I built a lot of relationships just being crazy and wild. And that lasted even into my second bid, you know what I mean? And I was going crazy. Now, while I was, you know, doing the life sentence, that's when I started making a transition, man. That's when I started seeing, you know, the game that was trapping everybody, and all of us was, you know, sitting there. All the boys that I was hanging with that was running the streets, we was all upstate, man, you know, with big numbers, man, you know what I mean? And it was like, wow, man. And like when I came home, the guys that went to school, the guys that were squares, the guys that lived around, you know, the neighborhood, we gave them the same respect. You know what I mean? We were grown men, so it wasn't about, you know, what you did in the street. It was just about where you are in life and the friendships you have. You know what I mean? It's basically they stayed on the street and was able to establish themselves. So we got played in the game.
So today, last night I wasn't at the event, unfortunately, but last night there was an event called the Community Stakeholders, where solutions were trying to be had to kind of curb the gun violence that's been happening in the community. So as you were saying, like, you know, you guys got caught up and the game got played, so to speak.
Right.
What would you say to these young people today that are out there wilding in the streets to let them know that it's not cool? Like, what would you say? How do you reach the kids of today?
Well, I mean, I used to talk to all the gangs, man, that are out there today, man. So a lot of them know me if they did prison time, and you know, basically, I would say it's a revolving circle, man. You have to understand the game you're playing, and right now, you know, it's at an all-time high of trying to attack the people that's in the hood, man. So, you know, they're trying to, you know, whitewash you out of the hood, so you basically, they don't want you in there. So, you know, you have to not fall into the traps. And I would say, man, just get your money, man. You know, there's so many ways for you to win now. Why would you choose a way to lose?
Mm-hmm. I got a quick question. Now, I know you said that you were, you know, when you were locked up, you had, you know, time to go and reflect and decide that you spent a lot of time with the library.
Right.
Was there somebody that was like a mentor to you in there that was like, yo, man, you know, you have other options right now. Why don't you try this? Was anybody in your ear like that telling you?
I mean, I had a lot of, I mean, Dieter, we to tell you, man, I'm the loud guy there in the unit, man. You know what I mean?
If you're his partner in cards,
oh
and
man,
you play the wrong card,
listen,
totally different dude.
Totally different.
Like
I don't lose.
Look like he don't lose.
I
knew when he went into writing books and things like that. I know his intensity on whatever he does. You know what I mean? He doesn't like to lose. You know what I mean? And so and he takes that with everything. You know what I mean? So he's gonna push his books and everything like that. But like, in the joint, you know what I mean?
Hey, listen,
it worked out when he was in the joint.
Man, like, you know, I'm always like,
I saw the picture.
I'm a boisterous person, man. Like, you know, I'm reserved, man, because, you know, it doesn't call for it, man. But that's why I was crazy in the streets, because I have another side of me. But yeah, man, like, you know, being in the joint is one thing, but you have to evolve, man. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, man, when you do a lot of time, that's when a lot of people evolve. And unfortunately, the people doing the time, they're doing too much time that they can't get a second chance.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was able to get a second chance, and I want to use that to be greatness. I want to use it to leave a legacy behind.
Yeah. You're definitely doing that.
Absolutely. What sign are you?
Oh, I'm a Leo, man. You know, confident, man.
Yeah, they great.
Man.
Yeah, they
Come
great.
On, man, you know.
Leo's great. Lord, they'll kill you.
I see it.
No pun.
No pun intended. Yeah, no, they won't.
I see Dieter over there eyeing your book, because I think he wants to ask you for some pointers.
I just want to know, is this porn?
So listen, man.
Fantasies of Passion. This looks like porn.
So listen, I wrote Fantasies of Passion Part 1 and 2. It's short erotic stories, all made up, and you know, it's just my heart.
I don't know if they
right.
Because I don't know about that.
No, but you'll be able to tell, because it's like age 70 to you know, college students, and there's all different nationalities, man. All, you know, everything, races, man. So it's nothing. You'll be like, oh, it has nothing to do with him, because it might be some rock. It might be a rock story. You know what I mean? It might be a married couple, man. You know, anniversary, man. But then I have a lot of crazy ones in there too. You know, so.
Well, I'm sure you.
Let me give you a quick taste. Wait. It says Missy leaned back and wrapped her arms around Larry's neck, feeling the full length of his erection inside her vagina. Larry, you feel so good. Missy whispered into his ear, "You got me horny and wet. Let me please you." I gotta leave out some words here. Then Larry raised Missy up. I gotta leave out some words here. And then flipping her on the seat, not yet. Oh no, not yet, he says. "Let me please you first."
Oh, damn. Larry's going in. Larry's going in. I'm trying to tell you, Larry was going in.
No, you can't have this book franchise.
So listen,
franchise came in today because he wants to play you.
So listen, one of my favorite stories in the Fantasies of Passion series is a couple goes to a Everything Goes sex club. Mm-hmm. And, you know, no matter what room they go in, it's just all different type of fun. And, you know, listen, I have a crazy mind, man. And you'll be like, listen, this guy goes in, man, you know. Yeah.
What are you going to do after books?
So
movies.
Well, you know, absolutely, man. I'm trying to pursue the TV and the movie thing, man. But, you know, I'm lining up for a few things, man. We have some things coming, big investments, man. So I'm hoping those drop soon, and you know that's gonna change the scope of the city, man. You know, so yeah, you know, I'm just right now, man, trying to build, man. You know, build with my peoples and get the word out.
Man, Greg Simpson's, I'm AKA Smooth, says shout out to you and keep doing your work.
Sir.
Respect.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Do you have any audiobooks coming out?
So I am talking to a young lady, and she's gonna be doing the Fantasies of Passion audiobooks. Nice. Like I said, I'm doing part 3 to my trilogy, but after that, I'm kind of getting away from urban books, and I want to do a race relations book, man. You know, basically how we came up, man. You know, the white, black, and man, and how now, you know, just seeing that we're more alike than, you know, different, man, you know,
Right.
so I wanted to touch on that, especially being in the city of Boston and the turmoil that we went through growing up. You know, like a lot of times, everybody talks about the struggle, about the street, and how, you know, we need to change everything. And we was the ones that was going through all the brutality. We was the ones that was, you know, at 13 getting thrown on a police car, man. So, you know, I went through a lot of, you know, traumatic times as a kid too, man, growing
Absolutely.
up. Man, you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So, you know, like, it was a rough time, and Boston has got a lot better, man, and like, you know, it's a great city now. So, you know, we need to still do work, but you know, it's definitely done a lot of improvement.
Absolutely.
Listen, how can people follow you? How can people support you and give them all the map of how they can get their hands on this Fantasies of Passion?
All right.
Wait, write this down. Fantasies of Passion, Part 1 and 2.
Part 1 and 2, man. You know what I mean? Part 2 even juicier.
Hey!
You know what I mean? Say, listen, man.
Because you see how thick Part 2 is.
Hey,
You
man,
see
yeah.
Part 1. Now look at Part 2.
Yeah, Part 2,
Yeah.
man. I said, listen, man, we gotta come. We gotta get even better, man. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can find me. I got 100 Facebook pages, but my main one is Vacado Williams, VACADO.
That's what I want to ask
Yes,
you.
me too.
And you shouldn't ask nothing about AKs.
Yeah, no,
What's
Be
that?
quiet, Dita.
You have a lot of different names too.
Right.
So Vacado,
Yes.
is that your name?
Yeah, Vacado. You can call me Vacado.
You can call me Vacado.
But like, do you like avocados or something like that?
I don't like avocados.
Me neither. I never had it.
So as like we know, man, you know what I mean? Listen, everybody calls me 8 on the street. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So before I went to prison, not even my friends around my neighborhood knew my name. You know what I mean? Like that was something I kept off the books, man. And if you didn't go to school with me, you just didn't know me. You know what I mean? So that's just something I didn't go with. I've used aliases all my life. You know what I mean? So, you know, Vacado is actually a name that I just started making people call me when I was in prison.
Me.
Dita was curious too.
Yeah, I call him 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, listen, man. If you know me, nobody calls me Vacado, man. Ladies call me Vacado, man.
Me!
But all the guys call me 8, man.
That's
You know what I mean?
right.
So, yeah.
That's
Right.
true. I never called you 8.
Yeah, you can call him avocado as
Yeah,
me.
man, Vacado's cool, man. Vacado, 8, J. Williams, man. You know, whatever floats your boat, man. You know what I mean? I'm a good dude, man. I respond to everybody.
Absolutely.
So the best way for somebody to get one of these books.
So you can go to casualbusinessmoves.com, Vacado Williams on Facebook. You can go to Amazon to get the ebooks, or you can just call me, man. You know, I'm open to the public, man. I come up and deliver in Boston for free.
Yep.
I ship out every day, man. So, you know, call me 617-356-2813. No crank calls, man.
No.
You know what I mean?
And-
You
and-
know,
And ladies call him avocado.
Also, Jay, are you publishing other?
So
artists
yeah,
as
man,
well?
you know, we're publishing other authors, man. You know, we're trying to do, you know, some audio books. I mean, everything is about to come together in a big way. We're about to blow CBM up, and we want everybody to be a part of it. Like this is a community publishing company, man. Like it's just not for me, man. Like as you see, I give a lot back to the community, just like, you know, out of pocket, man, just because I want to see everybody win, man. I want to see everybody grow. And at the end of the day, it's about us, man. It's not about, you know, us relying on other people.
Me.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's good.
Are you gonna stick around or you gotta get out of here?
Oh, man, I stick around, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean,
We need your help. Since you write all these books right here, we need some help on Dr. Love today.
Oh, man,
Dr.
well, listen, man.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man.
The
You
Dr.
know,
Love story is in this book.
I got a couple of things I could talk about.
Man. Well, stick around, man.
All
We're
right,
gonna do
now.
some birthdays and then some SB do her thing, and
Yeah.
we're gonna, you know, stick around. All
We're
right.
gonna take a quick break.
Yeah, you can play. Give us a commercial or something, man. Yeah. Let him drink some water, man. Yo, give it up for my man.
man.
Hey, thanks a lot for coming in. We'll be right back,
Man,
man.
I appreciate
Jay
it.
Williams, the author.
AKA Vacado.
Yeah. I don't know what to call him.
Go ahead. All right, Rita, look at your makeup, Rita. Look at your makeup. Like SB John and DJ Wade. iHeartRadio's 98.1 FM, The Urban Beat.
I know you do this all the time.
What's up, Philly?
What up, man?
Good morning, everybody. Time to wake your ass up with the all-new Morning Cafe with me, Dina Wheeler, SB John, Moonlight, and DJ Wade. That's right. Let's go, everybody. Come on. Hey, you gotta wake your ass up, stop yawning. It's time for the best crew that ever worked the morning show. We have a new year, so now we need a new song. Had to add a few names, had to remove some. But it's all good.
Hey, man, thanks, man, for tuning in. You already know, man. CBM Publishing, man. Make sure, man, keep on supporting. This is for my peoples, man. Love you all the time, man. Listen, this is what we do every time. 617, the real being. You know what I mean?
Animal lover, even full moonlight, cause she shine right above us. Wave plays the tracks and play the headliners. I'm the one that smokes more weed than Brittany Griner. Some call me Baby Daddy, some call me Nancy. Some call me all of that is back and Chip's son. Shout out Mark Leo for giving me the chance, son.
Thank you.
Airwaves voted in for ransom. Now I'm on the best morning crew ever made.
So we'll be tuning back in. Make sure you have a good day. I ain't get no sleep. But listen, man. Cheers. Until another bit.